After a bonkers early game, after a bonkers series rather, from Vici and JDG. Welcome back, by the way. We're moving on to another one to see what happens here. It's going to be bonkers as well. This is Clement. My name's Jayce Penko. And yes, we are going into our second series, which we will be watching in full. Of course, with a series like this, you have to. I see the Neeko again, Clement. The Bannon pick. I see a Karthus on Clearlove.
It looks like Clearlove is a Biggie fan because that's going to be life beyond death right now for Clearlove. Okay. Hoping to fix some of his issues with his previous series that he did drop to LGD. So he's going with something that has a little bit more tenacity, can still make plays across the map.
I love the
for their solo lanes.
I love the Evelyn. Just before you move on to solo lanes, I love the Evelyn ban.
If Tarzan plays it, you have to take it away from Clearlove as well. He's actually known on that champion.
Tell me about the solo lanes.
Solo lanes really, really strong from EDG, but we do have to mention that they're not playing Ray today. Ray, their main carry, their Aatrox Menace, is actually on the bench today, and they're starting Mole instead.
Mole from BLG, you remember last year?
Yeah. I have something to say about this. I really don't like this from EDG, but we'll talk about it once the game starts.
We will, because we've moved over to Chengdu. We're in OMG's home arena. Chelly's on the Neeko once again. We have a Cassiopeia on Icon, which is exciting. Look at him slither up. Look at that. What's going on there? All right. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. Game 1, EDG, OMG. This has playoff implications as well down the track. We'll explain that as the weeks go on, as we get closer. But OMG and EDG both need these wins. Whose home arena is it? Well, all right, I don't care. Different provinces that we still get. Oh, hang on. 5 is disguised. They're like, we got the Galio. Now they know it's an Neeko. Get out of here.
That's even better.
Actually, we'll just be forced away. Of course, if you missed out on the last series, definitely recommend looking at a VOD. We'll be looking at this one in full. Clearlove picking up the Karthus with Dark Harvest as well, of course. But they're going to steal away the blue buff. A very intelligent invade, but responded by OMG on the other side.
Yeah, but of course, it does favor the Karthus a little bit. Vertical jungle doesn't really have to face up against the enemy jungler. It's always nice for the Karthus. He's a very fast clearer. We haven't actually seen a lot of Karthuses in the league. The only other time, I believe, was Ning. And Ning did not have a fun time on the Karthus whatsoever. He was tracked down, constantly killed. And this is going to be our second shot at it. Clearlove, I actually do feel like it fits his style a lot. He's not the super hyped up mechanical jungler that he used to be. Instead, he's more about farming, making efficient moves on the map, and applying pressure to the lanes.
Yep.
I think that's exactly what Karthus does. You can't go low in a trade if there's a Karthus on the other side. He's just going to pop you with Requiem.
See another Neeko. We see pretty much the same. This time, no domination second for Chelly. Instead, we're going into the inspiration tree. We have magical footwear. We have total biscuits as well. But the difference between this series and the last one, even though we do have Hope in AD carry, which we haven't mentioned just yet, and iBoy will not be playing, is that for EDG, running the Lucian Tahm Kench, a very different oppressive lane for the Neeko.
Yep, still EDG style this time around. Mole on something that scales a little bit better, putting him on the rise, not putting a lot of attention to him early game, and saying, Hope, you've been with the roster a bit longer. We're going to look towards you to carry.
Like I'm getting bullied out there as well. We're looking at lanes for EDG. You see the Jayce mid, this time instead of the top lane. Oh, that's cheeky.
So the big story about EDG is that this is an absolute must-win series for them. They have the second hardest schedule left in the league. The teams that they have to face up are the top 4 teams in the LPL, BLG, TOP, FPX, and IG. And the only other set they have is then V5. So they must be feeling very confident about their newcomers to run with this squad when everything is on the line.
I mean, newcomers are doing all right. I think Clearlove has had a lot of direction in the past couple of weeks after returning to the EDG roster. You see EDG already pushing in this bottom lane. They've completely zoned OMG. Clearlove shows his face, and look at the CS difference. That's just insane.
Yeah, just straight bullied from level 1. Really good play from both Hope and Meiko, and this might be the reason. I was questioning this myself. I was saying, you know, why do you want to start what essentially is your B roster, Hope and Mole at this point, when everything is on the line? Maybe they really are that confident.
Maybe. I mean, Hope has played a couple of games. Hope was in the loss against LGD. Mole hasn't played yet, though, so I'm curious as to why EDG, especially in the top side of the map, when Ray has been doing so well. Looking to investigate that more. But Ryze top lane played a lot of it over on BLG. Scout getting bullied out here by Icon again, even trades. And I'm not sure if we'll focus too heavily on the top side of the map because Arle's gone in for his Camille, which he's one of the few players actually taking that top side still.
Yeah, his second most played is Camille. First most played is Fiora.
Yeah.
So he definitely has a very unique style in the champions he picks. Can Mole dodge away from this?
Yeah,
no flash.
I spoke a little bit too soon. Instant flash there from Best 16, but Aftershock
Ryze
Ryze just doesn't die. He has no mana. Will he be able to get a Rune Prison? Doesn't need it. Aftershock is just ridiculous.
That
clever.
was insane on the Rune Prison timing. So he stuck Ala onto the wall. Ala did not get the second proc of the hook shot, which would have given a stun. Very well played by Mole. I'm super impressed by that.
That's a reason that you play Mole. Maybe you're just like, let's give him a bit of experience. Maybe he's performing better in scrims. Clearlove was up towards that top side as well, so it's good that he doesn't have to make a reaction. He's just gone back to farming while being 10 CS ahead of Best 16.
I think it's pretty funny that Mole's actually playing Ryze. He is a mid laner by birth.
Yeah.
Started out for the BLG roster
by birth,
with
yeah.
Chieftain.
Yeah.
So just taking another mage in towards the top side. Questionable decision to start Mole. I don't really see them starting Mole over Ray anytime soon. So
except for now?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't.
Oh no. It's happening again. Mole has been, you know, interchangeable with Athena in the past, old BLG, and kind of their run towards becoming more than a middle of the pack team. Almost implies to, I guess, a little bit less than old FPX, Clement. Unless you don't want to agree with that. Well, not in style, but more about placement.
Now, Mole was someone that gave BLG a lot of early aggression compared to Athena. Athena, we called him the sleeping mid laner, wouldn't wake up until 30 minutes, played scaling champions.
Azir.
And for Mole, he actually had a very good stint on things like the Talon. He brought a breath of fresh air and life to BLG. Unfortunately, he was traded away when they had Kuro on the roster.
Like a puppy you don't want to get rid of, but you know it's for the best. Mole now finds his action on EDG. Clearlove again. He's back for this blue buff. Has the timing. Going to be a smite there. And OMG's bottom lane move. So does the jungle. So does mid lane from Icon. But EDG just in and out.
Just the strength of vertical jungling being showcased in this match. They have the blue timers both times. They have the strong bottom side, full control on the blue buff, and that's going to allow them to really snowball the mid lane as well. If they can get the handoff of the blue buff onto Scout, that effectively means 2-1 lanes.
That's right, and every single lane at that is going well. The top lane, the CS discrepancy is gone, but bottom lane is 20 CS to Hope. Now, I know what you're saying. iBoy would have done the same thing. But let me just say this. Hope has played this lane so well so far. And Chelly and 5 not really having impact. Getting pushed out once again. And Mole, all spidey senses were tingling.
Yeah, really good find there. He knows that the enemy jungler has to trade something back on the top side, most likely in the blue buff. And this is what we were talking about. 2 blue buffs over to EDG. They're going to have full map priority. The Jayce is going to be able to roam. And we could be seeing that fabled Karthus counter jungle.
How angry is Hope? Oh, listen to him groan.
He wants that starter position.
That'll push out Chelly. That'll push out 5. Performances like this, he might deserve it. We'll see how he continues because we know the Lucian in lane is so oppressive as usual. Having the Tahm Kench with the extra poke and tongue lash always helps, but Chelly and 5 slowly getting pressured out once again. They have their summoners available, but with those gone, if Hope and Meiko can find them, that's more tower plating, that's more gold, that's more CS. That could just shut out the game before it's begun.
Look at how far ahead Clearlove actually is. Already 20 CS up, and this is all because they started really strong on the bot side, and they had the Jayce priority in the mid lane as well, so it couldn't be traded back by Best. Best 16 effectively only has 1 quadrant of the map, while Karthus is taking 3 away from him on his side. A masterful strategy coming in from Clearlove.
He's able to give that blue buff over to Scout. You mentioned it before. If he's able to give it to Scout, then I would see this lane being pushed out pretty safely so. Icon's opted to take Cassiopeia into the mid lane. That's something rare we see. We usually expect it if someone like Chelly would pick it up.
Let the young guns deal with the early game, let the old guard deal with the late game is the EDG strategy. Clearlove, safe on farming up. He doesn't have to go one-on-one against the enemy jungle. Best 16, one of those Riven jungle players, if you remember.
Yeah, no, I remember. He's actually played 2 series of that.
Yeah, he's actually really confident with his mechanics. You probably don't want
God
in that matchup.
Mole, Spidey senses again. Hello, Best 16. Goodbye, Best 16.
Damn. Well,
his intuition is
yes.
insane.
There's one thing that mid laners typically have difficulty with switching to top lane is how easy you are to gank. You know, you're going into a much longer lane. But Mole doesn't have any trouble with it. Doing very well for himself in that top side.
Can you see the difference between what he's doing in scrims? Scout dodging away from the Noxious Blast again. Icon hasn't been too successful in threatening out Scout as he goes into Hammer form. This is a big issue here for OMG. They're behind 1,300 gold this early on. Mid lane's even, but bottom lane seems to be the issue. Jungle as well, making up that gold difference. Clearlove has just started the Cloud Drake. Cloud on Karthus, the absolute dream.
And already 400 gold up just from farming it from his own.
Give him another one. Yes. Oh yes, look how fast he is. That roaming death.
Just talking about OMG's comp.
Woo!
Ooh, never mind. Scout's already here.
Hey, there's one turret plating here, by the way.
That was fast.
I'm not going to ask how, because I know how, but Best 16 has to come down. This turret is on the verge of collapsing.
Average first tower timing for the LPL is post 14 minutes.
Yep.
Might see a very accelerated game coming in from Hope. He's going to be sitting on that Blade of the Rune King just with that tower taken.
Look at the vision there as well. Smart wards over the side of the ledge. See if Best 16 Arctic assaults in for the gank. The control ward down there as well. And there's a pixel brush ward. And there's a mid lane side brush ward. So Best 16 can't get into this bottom lane. He can't really collapse onto mid. EDG, this is very clean play to start off game 1.
Yeah, not the usual impact we see from Icon. I think that's a pretty smart thing that they did in the drafting phase to take away a lot of Icon's options. You definitely don't want him on something like the LeBlanc. And to be honest, in OMG's recent series, the wave they won, it has been mainly about Icon showing up massively on that Akali, on stuff like the Assassins, and bring OMG back from the brink of defeat. So taking away his options, forcing him onto a control mage, great strategy, and now they're just going for the straight push-in.
Clearlove has so much wave clear this early on. He's still so far ahead. The bottom lane is zoned out. And they are gone. Petrifying Gaze doesn't land, but Glacial Prison does. Locking down Scout. The damage isn't enough. Slow down as he turns onto Icon. Bops him back. Smart Flash. Scout trying to mechanically outplay. But the Requiem is coming down! First blood over to the Karthus.
And they even get some in the bot lane as well.
5 squad out. He's trying to run away. Chelly already dropped down 2. The Karthus rejoins the fight. Double kill for Hope. EDG. They just turn on.
Oh, and that was so beautiful from Clearlove. He even got that extra 100 gold into his pocket. Great play from Scout. If we rewind and watch that play, he actually dodged out on the Petrifying Gaze just with the look back, didn't turn around, did not face the Cassiopeia, walks into the brush, gets another rotation to finish Icon off. Really well played on his part, and we're going to check in on the bot side. So it does seem like Neeko, Chelly did stop.
You really didn't want him to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit too easy for Hope. Almost a 1v2, but he had help from the Requiem to secure that.
Hope is so far ahead now. He already had the CS lead. He had bottom lane turret. He has 50 CS almost over the Neeko 80 carry. This is not Puff. This is Chelly. He's played the Neeko before, but in a very different way. And Scout even mechanically outplaying Icon to the point there of forcing him all the way in. Cool guys, don't look at Medusa. And Icon couldn't even get the scent, couldn't even get the look that he deserved. So he drops down in the end. Big trades here for EDG. They have the gold lead. They have 4,000 at 13 minutes. And if you thought OMG were going to contest this game number 1, I can tell you right now, you were very wrong.
This is such a beautifully constructed composition. I think a lot of teams do not think about constructing teams based on the tempo advantage you're going to get. And this was purely a tempo game. They found the early lane swap, not the lane swap, excuse me, the vertical jungle to start it off. They finish it off with a really strong bot side, a really strong mid lane as well, and they just took over the map like that. A lot of times teams just think about laning phase, they think about team fight composition, they think about scaling. They don't really think about this type of comp.
You hate it if your OMGs, they just get blasted out into this mid lane tower. Requiem's coming in.
Is he gonna get
Here
someone?
again!
Oh, man!
Goodbye, licky tongue! What happened?
Oh, this is just brutal. This is the perfect champion for Clearlove.
This is Clearlove's day.
Yes, it is.
Just saying this right now. OMG are getting blasted from the skies, from the ground, from Lucian's lightsabers. Like, this is just almost clinical from EDG. And they don't even have their core roster.
Super dangerous. Honestly, EDG, they are on the brink of playoffs. Their schedule does not favor them, even though they're currently hanging around 7th place. Teams after them, like Sino Dragons, actually have a much easier road to making it in. So they're hanging by a thread, but they're showing why they have so much confidence actually running their B team.
Smart play from EDG. Playing the B team, yes, but doesn't feel like it here. They still got that 5k gold lead at 15 minutes in. Part of that gold attribution was the fact that when they dropped down that Rift Herald in that play, they took the turret plating 1 second before it dropped, and they got 2 bits of turret plating spread out. So it almost seems too profound here from EDG.
What I love about good League of Legends, it's very much like cooking. You have to get your timings absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And Clearlove is a master chef.
Oh yeah. Clearlove is the Gordon Ramsay of League of Legends. Actually, yeah, no, actually he is. He defends his teammates, he swears.
I don't know about swearing.
You know what?
I'm not actually sure about that.
Okay, all right, I'm not going to say that, but I'll tell you what, he defends his teammates. Gordon Ramsay's a nice guy at heart. Gordon Ramsay has moved up to the top lane. And Best 16 just walks away from him. That seems like every restaurant critic. If you want to deal with him, or if you've seen his videos on YouTube where a customer comes up and gives him the what for, I tell you what, you don't want to do that. Scout might be caught out here, however, and unfortunately he doesn't look like a restaurant critic. Looks like the chef that Gordon Ramsay puts 2 pieces of bread between.
And Scout scratches his head and knows he made a little mistake right there, but it's going to leave Mole completely open for the bot lane. I want to see how much he actually gets out of it. First mistake that we've really seen from EDG this game.
Yeah. Scout pays for it with his life. Good pick off there. Best 16 unfortunately picks up the kill, but that won't matter too much. Mole gonna push in this bottom lane turret as well. Arley's coming down, but Meiko hiding around the wing.
We haven't really talked about the wing condition for OMG.
Another one. Yes.
Oh man, it's a move fast comp.
Arley always gets caught out as well. Look how fast they are moving. Look at Clearlove. He's floating on life, it feels like. Requiem is up and available. Clement, almost level 11.
I want to see how much AP that Karthus has by now.
You ready for the skies to go boom?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Opens up. What do you find? You know, people looking for religion, for looking for the meaning of life. You know what? They look up. You know what? They see this green stream of light. They're like, ooh, wonder what that's going to be. Suddenly, no one knows what happens in that green stream of light.
We actually don't know what it looks like to see the Requiem coming down from the skies.
Yeah.
I bet maybe like Clearlove's face shines in the skies and just shoots down
Judgment
green
Day.
rays.
You've seen the Terminator.
I will take
Now
all the
experience
non-piggies.
You do not believe in me. I think I'd fear that a lot more than I'd fear the machines.
For sure, for
Rather
sure.
be taken over by robots and just fight my way out. Clearlove doesn't give you a choice. This game especially. He's hit that level 11 mark. Dark Harvest stacks piling up by the dozen. And EDG, although Scout got picked off just before, still very much in control here.
This is an insane comp from EDG. This is EDG's, I would say, probably their best compositions because they have the global tools to play with. They have the early tempo. They also have the late game scaling. It's just everything tied up into a neat package of EDG goodness. We haven't seen this in a while. A lot of times you look at EDG comps and you're like, I'm not sure that really works, especially against their LGD comp, especially when they played LGD.
Yep.
A lot of early game focus, but not much afterwards. This time around, very good on the compositions. You have to hand it to Hart for really building this comp now. I always want to say no Faye, but he's of course with a Freaka at this point.
Ironic, we got Comet, and they got no face. A lot of transitions and coaches and split. EDG fighting again. Though, they're the ones that started this. Hope can he escape though. Arley coming in over the wall. Culling's out. Flash from Meiko. OMG doing a good job to force out EDG from their own jungle.
They do have a lot of engage options, and they're going to find
Clearlove,
Karthus.
what are you doing here? Maybe he just wants to die. Doing the old Karthus strat, because get ready. Is it going to come down? Is it Clearlove? No. Pop Blossom here from Chelly, on hit. Neeko now doing work onto Mole. What is happening here, Clement? EDG piling in by the dozen.
OMG, playoff alert. Is this happening again?
Oh my god.
We saw Clearlove's streak being broken by LGD. It went all the way to 6 games, but LGD with a masterful performance, and Condi coming back into the lineup was able to take it away from them.
Yeah.
Now they're still very firmly in the lead.
They're still very firmly.
But that's the type of play that OMG can really come back on.
It's not the first time as well. Mole's caught out for a second time. Scout was almost caught out for a second time, but it was mainly Mole, it was Clearlove. It started with Hope and Meiko in the jungle, but we'll look at Clearlove.
The second consecutive catch, they've already forced summoners away from the bot lane. They get the first kill, and really smart move on backing off. Mole just finds himself at the wrong place at the wrong time, and a very easy pickoff. Karthus was there, he was waiting to use his late waste, but just wasn't in range. It was a really smart idea to pick the positions they wanted to fight in from OMG.
You've given some kills over to Ale as well, 2-0 on the Camille. Now a very big condition when you look at what he's built into and optimized in the runes. He's gone for Conquerors, so he wants to team fight. This has enabled him with the Trinity Force and has the team map for the wave clear. So now in the side lane, Mole going to be having a bit of trouble.
Now we really have to see if those late game options on Karthus and Ryze are enough to take over from the drop that's going to happen in the Lucian and the Jayce. That's the big question we're all looking for. Now we haven't really talked in OMG's comps. I've started it, but fights have interrupted it the entire way through.
That's right.
But we have seen what OMG want to do is that they push forward very, very well. It's a front to back composition. They can start the fights off with initiation on the Camille, and then they have that beefy middle line in Cassiopeia where she's going to prevent the damage from going on to Neeko. And Neeko is one of the best on-hit options you can have in the meta right now.
Oh wow, hang on. Meiko doesn't take Hope with him. In fact, Hope tried to start that one off. Icon flashes away. Icon is not that beefy line just yet, so he has to avoid it at all costs. Baron sitting there waiting, going, ooh, what's this man doing? Well, not too much. At the moment, EDG just responding to the split by pushing mid. And Ali's all the way out of there, trying to start a fight up actually. I think I saw a little bit of an ultimate from Best 16, but it didn't land. Requiem coming down. Here we go again.
Here's the Ryze.
Half health shot, Pop Blossom there from Chelly, but he's already been taken down, or burning down rather, not just yet. Hope eaten down. Ali comes in for the flank, but is it enough damage? OMG maybe bitten off a little bit too much, expecting the fight to go better for them, but it doesn't. They lose 2, EDG lose 1. They might find the turret with it as well.
And that was such a smart force from EDG. They force OMG to split off into 2 different directions, and they defeat by detail. They pick up the Cassiopeia on the right side. They actually don't. But they force the Cassiopeia on the right side, and they pick off Ala as he does come in and try to save the situation. It's something that EDG actually do a lot. You just study their team fights. They use terrain very, very well to force the enemy team to split off, and then you can pick them off one by one.
Yeah. Didn't need to use it that time. I mean, the Karthus just nuked himself, went in and said, alright, that's alright that I'm dead, let's do it. So Clearlove, at his level 12, has died twice now, the good old Karthus way. And Morellonomicon's coming soon, so those ultimates doing a bit of damage, but going to be doing even more. 22 minutes in, OMG losing out by an extra 1,000 gold now, despite their efforts.
Now, still a very firm game from EDG. 6K up at 22 minutes. It's going to allow them to transition into a pretty easy Baron startup. And with the map mobility options they have, they can set engages very, very easily. So I do expect EDG, once this game plan, once the bot waves is pushed out, they should be converging on this Baron and just forcing OMG to face check. This is the EDG Death Brush, that pixel brush right outside of Baron. It's where EDG get the majority of their kills.
They're starting it up now. You see all the vision down the mid lane, seeing which way they veer off to, knowing that the Baron buff is going to be so highly contested.
Can you imagine this? A Realm Warp Karthus into your backline.
Oh my god. Clearlove presses W, everyone dies. Whoa! 5 actually didn't take too much damage, but the purple magic resist bar is always eluding me. So we can hear Ale, that's not 5, you cheeky devil. Best 16 and 5, trying to get the flank around. Mole is here, what? Just back walks into the brush. Best 16, what? Make up your mind, honestly.
Getting completely zoned out, only that one ward brush left. But what I really want to point is to, it was a pretty fun idea from Chelly. He first transform himself into the Galio and then use the shapeshifter to check. So when you see a Galio, you're like, well, I have to kind of respect his crowd control. I don't really want to walk up super fast. Kind of an interesting idea in getting that red side control back.
Yep. You see the EDG, after picking it up, they go, all right, triple cloud. Ale over the side, might want to take on the 1v1 of Mole. Ocean coming up next.
He can definitely take it at this point. He does have the lifesteal to...
There is a Sonya's Hourglass here, however. So Mole, did it outplay potential, or rather, the armor might be able to benefit. Comes down to the wire a bit.
Here's the problem with the tempo team composition. Woo! We've seen EDG fall to a lot of international teams that have that split pusher in towards the top side. And Ala is going for that build. Now, once he gets the Ravenous Hydra, he should be able to have a good time against the Ryze. He should be able to start taking that down. And EDG will find themselves working against the clock a little. Even with the Karthus, even with the Ryze, they might just be split pushed so heavily that they can't find breaks to set up for these objectives. So they still do have to speed up the tempo, and OMG are doing a good job at keeping the game even.
They really are. I think OMG have done a great job to bring the game back to a contentious point. That's not even a word. A point of contention. Got there in the end. 25 minutes in, you have triple cloud to work with, so EDG are going to be to these plays quite fast. But OMG have a chance to just play Disruptor here. Scout always going for some of the deeper vision, always looking to poke out. And that's gotten him killed twice. And against the Cassiopeia, who's just farming away. Snake Lady with her boots and all. Going to be an issue in these fights the longer this game goes on. Further to your point, Clement, let's talk to scaling maybe in 5-10 minutes, because I don't believe it anymore after what I just saw in JDG versus Fiji Gaming.
10,000 gold up. Actually, that was game 2, but game 3 they were still very sizably in the lead. Couldn't finish out the game, and OMG might be trying to learn a thing or two from that series. Already splitting the lane up very, very well, but that bot lane tower has to go. If they want to really pull EDG towards the bottom side of the map, that's the first objective.
Ale keeps moving up though, expecting the fight to start soon. He doesn't have teleport, so Ale has to play between 2 lanes at the moment. Working towards mid lane, 5 still once again. Baiting in with the Galio. Of course, as you mentioned there before, the only way to do it. Ale gonna go back down, but look at where EDG are.
I really like this loop around. You push around the mid, and then you have full access into the red side. You can sweep it once more. I think this time they're finally going to go for it. They know that they're very far away. Rem Warp instantly into the Baron.
Yeah, that's right. Ale doesn't have teleport. He's level 15. He's just going to have to pick up the turret. Can Best 16 get a steal? It's going to go down very quickly. Best 16 had no idea, but now they do. EDG just forced it. And Ale, top bottom lane turret's all he can trade off.
And that's a beautiful, that's the beauty of Realm Warp. Once you get an inch, you can instantly make that
take a mile.
Yeah, take it even further and just teleport back into the Baron. We've been saying this over and over again, but Ryze is one of those picks that when teams find themselves behind, you can always make a pick. We've seen it so many times in LPL. Xiaohu's one of those great Ryzes that has made it very, very popular. It was his best champion in 2018.
Yep.
And EDG, honestly, have had a very good record on the Ryze as well. You just push in, you have that distance, you can instantly double the distance by pushing up into the enemy side of the map, and then just going straight for Baron.
I love how bringing in Mole meant bringing in a Ryze top. You know, just immediately off the bat. Oh, wait, what are you doing here? It's not a visual bug. Hook shot into wall shot. The wall of pain. It really got Ali out there fast.
So taking stock of the situation, this is still a team fight that OMG can potentially take, but I'm looking at Icon. Can he actually get that Petrifying Gaze off? Hope does not have any cleanses, so if you could catch him, could be a chance.
I mean, Icon getting bursted down before the fight can even start. He's going to heal up a little bit, of course, as Cassiopeia does, but OMG getting pushed on again. This fight now going to have to come out. At 28 minutes, the stock of the situation will continue to rise if OMG get a pick. It'll be successful for them in this next fight, but if they get that pick, already poked down by Scout. Mole's going to push mid as well. Now, I'm curious about the 1v1 here, because now with Seraph's Embrace, I think it's doable.
Yeah, he needs to keep his distance. He needs to avoid the hook shot, but if that doesn't land, I think Mole will win the trade. Overall, with time, I would still give it to the Camille, but right now he should be feeling pretty confident and just stay in open terrain and warding off
right. All right, OMG, deal with hope. Culling's going to come through. That's a fake Chelly. They play the bait. They pull back. But this Baron buff minion is still hitting. Ale taking the 1v1. We finally get our answer. And Meiko's coming in. You cheater. Ale runs away. And look how far he's gone. Meiko going to zone him off. The Frog says, come back here. I am the master chef.
He doesn't actually spot Ale.
Here we go. Tongue lash. Look at him waddle. There's one. Ale still has to back away. He's teleporting to the bottom wave. Meiko, 1, 2, 3. He can't find the Devour in time.
Ooh, but that's still a massive teleport wasted from Ale there. And if the timers line up, which I don't think they actually do. Oh, no, the timers are actually going to line up. So he's not going to have the teleport for the next Baron, actually.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty rough. So EDG can just, once again, go on to their old tricks. There's not going to be enough sideline pressure.
Ale hasn't had teleport pretty much every single point of this game. Teleporting to lane, and then pretty much teleporting to lane, responding to a push, escaping. No team fight for Ale to really participate in. He's a level 16 Camille with Ravenous Hydra. His second item picked up. That's rough. You want the Camille in as fast as possible and able to split push this side lane. He'll go in now, but after being spotted, EDG will look to make a move as they normally do.
And Karthus is big. Zanya's already online, has the double pen from Morello Nomicons.
Yeah.
If Clearlove decides to just flash into the enemy comp, OMG cannot go forward. And that's a massive advantage, especially if what you want to do is set up a Baron fight. So I do expect them to go with that play.
At least for OMG, the pace has settled quite a lot, even though the gold lead goes towards EDG by a very favorable amount. And 4 elementals, you're thinking that, yeah, it's just oceans, it's just cloud drakes, because earlier in the game, the Karthus and the Lucian, even Scout, let's just name everyone at this point, getting triple cloud drake was huge. But OMG have quelled it for enough. They're going to push down the mid lane turret, starting to evolve and adapt and maybe scale a little bit. Scout at half health, burst it down with the help of poison. Turret's going to go down too. OMG forcing objectives and coming out better for it.
And the problem with EDG's comp is that they're not very good at sieging. We've seen them with the full duration of the Baron buff, not able to take down any of the inhibitor towers. It's very hard for them to walk up against a Cassiopeia.
Yeah, that's a Cassiopeia, right? I wonder who that is.
It's definitely Cassiopeia. I see no problem with it.
Really, Renan's Cassiopeia.
Yeah. And they also need to be very aware of the Tangle Barbs. Tangle Barbs is actually great at stopping sieges. People are hiding behind their minions. They're thinking, oh, we have no problem here. But if Hope gets caught by one, easy follow-up from Icon in Best 16. So it's been very tumultuous for EDG to actually push up even with the Baron. It's allowed OMG to stay in the game.
Yep. OMG going to have to deal with another one though soon. Clement, 1 minute. 32 minutes into the game, I want to see that double Baron again. I want to see a rinse and repeat. And we've kind of almost got it. We're in Chengdu and OMG's home arena. For this match, this means just so much.
It definitely does.
This match is to keep them in playoff contention, realistically. And although not confirmed just yet, we know how important it's going to be. Yes. Oh. What?
They're not EDG fans.
No.
Those Krugs.
What happened there, Clement? That's just rigged. 3 items on the Cassiopeia. Icon, you saw how quickly he did Krugs. Well, he's going to do even worse to EDG if someone gets caught.
Can you imagine LPL without EDG in playoffs? I don't understand what that even means.
I mean, that's what I said at the start of the year. They made
You
playoffs.
said they weren't even going to make playoffs? I said they were probably not going to make Worlds.
Clement. I put them in front of BLG, but underneath, like, FPX, Sooning, TOP. I said they wouldn't make Worlds, but I also said they would not make playoffs.
If there was one person that was the protagonist of the LPL, I actually think it would be Clearlove. Probably be Clearlove over Uzi, just for as a story mode.
I mean, player number 1.
Huh?
Clearlove has been through it. What'd you call him, old man hands?
I called him an old timer once.
Right. I mean, he called a couple of people old timer. This is a quick start of Baron. There's a war there, though. OMG, what's happening here?
Don't think you want to take that.
They're going to keep going for it. EDG just walking in like, hello, howdy doodly. Let's see what happens here. OMG right in the middle of the pit. 4K, Realmwolf's coming in. Still hitting the Baron. Going to play the 50-50, but EDG, are they in the pit first? Clearlove flashes in. Doesn't get it in time, but the Karthus in the middle of everything. Pop Blossom comes down. Clearlove's still alive. Waiting to die. They've already found a pick. OMG, the fight is working out for them. Scout is zoned away. Ale forces the flash, but they just turn on him. Requiem coming down.
How many will
Boom! It doesn't find anyone. The Dark Harvest stack is pretty much it. Mole goes invulnerable, but drops down. On hit, Neeko picks up a triple kill, and Scout can't even get retribution.
Oh my god, disaster strikes for EDG. They're paying the prices for running their hubris composition. Hubris roster, actually.
Yeah.
And honestly, EDG did not play the fight as well as I hoped they would, because they did have the Karthus to send directly into the pit. What they should have done, I felt, was you just use Meiko, you send Karthus into the pit, and what does OMG do to that? OMG are stuck in a very difficult position. Do they walk outside of the pit and give Karthus the smite and the Baron? But instead they choose the direct walk-up route. They're not in time to actually stop the Baron, and 5 comes in from the side for such a great 3-man taunt. It really splits the entire EDG composition. And watch this target focus. Nobody touched the Karthus. Everyone focused on the different targets. Before that, they get Hope really early on into the fight, and the rest of it honestly is cleanup. Karthus not having that late game impact that we wanted him to have.
Mole was close to getting a response there, but yeah, I mean, Mole did the damage, but look at the on-hit Neeko. When you have a Galio, when you have so much protection, it's great.
That was so well done from Hope. Not Hope, I'm sorry. Actually, it was so well done from 5 to snatch Hope out of the fight early on. Only 1k damage done by the Lucian. I believe he got hit by the Petrifying Gaze very early on. It was a CC chain, and we didn't see the Lucian after the first seconds of the fight.
Yep. All right, Clement. You talked about how OMG fares. It's been 10 minutes. Let's bring up the discussion again, or let's just see another fight. I don't know what's going to come first. EDG trying to defend, but against Baron buff gold is getting to be minute. Hope trying to go up and force something onto the Galio 5. Not that tanky, but best 16 is. OMG taking away jungle, everything. On heat, Neeko, what is this? Hyper carry scales, late game, what's happening here? Wait, answer my question in a second, because Icon and Ale have found out Mole goes golden in the Hextech ultimatum. It's too late. He's dead, Master Wayne.
And EDG's playoff hopes are hanging on the line. The second hardest schedule faces them. They have to go through the top 4 LPL teams.
They do.
If they let this game slip through the cracks, it's going to be so much pressure for game 2.
OMG is setting themselves up for success here. Gold, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Inhibitor turret drops down mid. OMG on the verge of breaking the base. And Ale again. This rookie top laner, we'll talk about him post-game here. Because Clement, I think, is heavily going to be about Chelly, heavily going to be about Icon and landing that Petrifying Gaze, but Ale has started up a lot of these fights, and so has Best 16, who's locked down Clearlove, goes golden, but Ale's joined the fight once again. Uppercut with the help of Chelly, Culling's out too, the turret comes down, here we go, does it find anyone? Only one with the help of Hope. A trade-off here is better for EDG. OMG still running away. Chelly, best 16, flashed on. Hope gets 2. The Lucian still following up. Culling City here, baby. Here's Relentless Pursuit. 5 gets the taunt down. Knock up. Justice Punch. Scout takes away the kill. And EDG get 3 with nothing up and available.
Yeah, it does seem like they're at least going to take another dragon, and this is going to force OMG to walk forward into the Elder Dragon next. So we're already at 37 minutes. It's going to come up after this one. EDG, they do steady the ship. They have a win condition to look forward to, and it's all about goading OMG to walk into this pit.
Hello. Mole brings his whole family with him. All right, kids, go to the
family
shops.
trip. Uh-oh, but has Hope overextended? Or has Allah overextended?
I'm not too sure. Here comes the Pop Blossom. Chelly's actually going to die
what
here.
He's doing
Hope
here?
takes him down.
What?
Now they need to get rid of Ale. Devoured up. Meiko is going to take the burst of it, but Ale is a late game Camille who gets jumped on. OMG.
They could end the game right here.
Oh, no. That was such a good push before. Getting caught out, they need now to rely on Icon and Ale. But Ale gets out. That saves the game. Can Icon bring it back into contention? Mole sending in the poison. Twin Fang after Twin Fang after Twin Fang from the Comet on the Cassiopeia. Icon face first. Has the Petrifying Gaze. He's threatening it. In comes the Karthus, so. And
Requiem's
that was too close for comfort, Clement.
Whew. Messy decisions from both sides, but that was almost a game end from EDG. They get 2 picks off of it, and they could have just snowballed into it. Icon comes out. He holds everyone at the corridor. 1v4 right in front of the bases. But first off, let's watch how this mess all really started. They find Clearlove early, but Hope, great target selection, finds the target onto Icon. Last auto attack, double crit coming out from the Lucian just to finish Icon off.
Bang.
The League of Legends gods does not favor OMG. They want to see EDG in playoffs, and they give him that double crit to finish Icon off. I was so lucky.
You know what they say, EDG have hope, quite literally, and I hope as well. OMG, Clement, it's still there. Cassiopeia, the Neeko, the Camille. A full 5-on-5 here for EDG could end badly, but you have Mo. You're relying on the top laner who's not your starter, nor have we seen this split.
Theoretically, EDG should still be able to come out with these team fights. I feel like their late game scaling options are still relevant.
Well, there's no vision here. Wall of Pain is out again. A lot of damage already on Icon with the culling shields up. Scout coming in with the shock blast combo. OMG are in a choke, but Meiko knows we don't need to follow this, guys. Let's run up mid.
They have the inner track, but that means OMG could just take the Baron and then back away. So EDG are actually forced to come here and contest.
Look at what Chelly's doing, making them think. Realm
the
Warp
Karthus
into the
in?
middle.
No.
It's a bait. All right. Baron's still there. Mole's like, what you doing? Where are you?
They are starting it. What OMG has done so well is avoid those close quarter situations.
They have.
Where
Clement
Karthus
is
can
going
get
down so
everyone out.
fast. Heroes entrance coming in. It's the 2K. They're off the Baron. They turn for the fight. Requiem not used just yet, but OMG, they've lost their jungler. In for the flank. Scout has found exactly the right entrance. Pop Blossom down. Is it enough? Here comes the Requiem. This time, it's enough to make a big bang. Icon's out, but Scout is in. And Hope has bringing everything here. Mole looking for the chase up. With the miasma, it's hard to breathe. But Icon takes the last overload to the face. And EDG recover well as they run towards that Nexus.
EDG fans, they breathe out a sigh of relief as the game is going to wind down from them.
EDG, bring it to a close, Clement. This is the moment where you say that was too close for comfort. OMG, trying to stay in the race, but EDG just looked too done. I'm going to say happy, lucky. I'm not sure what word I want to use there, Clement.
That one was too close for comfort, for sure. The great hero play from Scout. I really think he's going to win the MVP off of that, but finding 5 in their own jungle, catching him red-handed as he tried to make the same exact play he did in the previous Baron fight, really won it for them. He takes down Galio. Galio puts down no crowd control earlier on, and this time they stay in formation. It's a situation where OMG have to run into them. Karthus gets the maximum amount of damage off, and they wipe the floor with OMG.
Too close for comfort. Game after game tonight, we have gotten an absolute treat. This was no exception. The on-hit Neeko factor, Icon kind of came into his form. Ale had a great game, I would say, up against Mole. But Hope, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
There was just so much riding on the line for this game, especially on EDG's side. They would have been called out for sending this roster in a crucial matchup against OMG. They do pull through in the end. I loved what they did in the early game. It was really cool, but there was only one mismanaged Baron. That was all they needed for the Tempo team to kind of collapse.
I mean, I don't even know how you start with that game, because that was, you know, from the minute we jumped into kind of the minute it ended, we had expectations, a slow mid-game, and then we just got to the end, we're like, okay, EDG. Running Mole and Hope in the bottom lane, let's start with that, because I think Hope looked great.
Yes.
I think Hope looked great, and it's a good refresher there, considering how iBoy at the start of the season wasn't in his form, wasn't consistent. Arguably, that was Meiko as well. Yeah,
to be honest, EDG's bot lane was struggling for the start of the split, bringing Hope in. He's doing very well in the laning phase. However, he does have a track record to disappear, much like West in the team fights. And that's really what got us really nervous when we saw this roster. It was like, EDG, have you looked at the rest of your schedule? Are you sure you want to run this?
Interesting timing there from EDG. Clement will divulge into this a little bit more when we return right after this break.